Welcome to another episode of Arbitration Life. I am Janette, Brin.
And I'm Hana, Doumal.
So I saw a recent article in Law 360 that said international arbitration boutiques flourish as big law gets the slip.
Yeah.
Basically, there appears to be somewhat of a trend of prominent international practitioners leaving their global law firms for smaller, more specialized firms. Even Law.com International put out a recent article as well, asking what's behind the boutique bonanza. Since January, dozens of partners across the UK and continental Europe have left full-service firms to launch their own boutiques.
And it is indeed a very interesting trend. And we recently learned that when Doumal QC did the same, she left the Beauvois to join 20 Essex. And our guest today has his own unique story of finding success in his own practice.
Listed in the Who's Who 2017 to 2021 under 45 future arbitration leaders. He also ranked in Chamber's most in-demand arbitrators and in the list of Leaders League, Spain's best arbitrators. He's a Spanish lawyer specialized in international arbitration and also a solicitor admitted in England and Wales. And he currently serves as Secretary General of the Spanish Club of Arbitration and has an extensive experience in international commercial arbitration, investment arbitration, and sports arbitration. Please welcome the principal of VBArbitration, Victor Bonnin Reynes.
Hi, Victor. Welcome to Arbitration Life. How are you?
Hi, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. And thank you for the invitation.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you today. I've been anxious to ask you, since very few people can find success at such a young age. You, Victor, started your arbitration practice at 36. Where do you find your drive, your passion for what you do?
I mean, it's something I never thought about before, but I mean, when I started my arbitration practice, the idea was to work both as counsel and an arbitrator. But what I really like is to work as arbitrator, and then I started to get appointments as arbitrator. And I think at the end of the day, doing what you like to do gives you the energy to continue and to make the most of it and to read and to treat the cases as if they were the first one. So I think it's very important. When you do what you like to, I mean, you can do everything.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Very true. And as arbitrator, Victor, could you please tell us how you got your first appointment and what advice you would give to arbitration lawyers looking to get the first appointment?
I mean, the first appointment, to be honest, I think I didn't do anything special. So sometimes, I mean, when you get your first appointment and you are young, at that time, I think I was 34 years old. It's very difficult that a party appoints you, because for them it's very difficult to trust in somebody as arbitrator who has never acted as arbitrator. So I have always thought that for young lawyers, their first appointment will come mostly from institutions.
No.
And when you are like something different from your peers, that gives you an advantage. And at that time, my first appointment was an ICC case between a French company and a Moroccan company that had to be conducted in French, and the applicable law was Swiss law. And the ICC, because it was a dispute for not such a high amount, they wanted an arbitrator who seated in Spain, who at the same time could speak French and had knowledge of Swiss law. And the ICC Spanish Commission, they knew my background, and they thought that I could be a good candidate because I had studied in Switzerland. I spoke French, and that's how I got my first appointment. And my advice to young lawyers seeking for their first appointment would be first to be patient, because it's not something that comes immediately. This is a marathon. You have to run and run, and one day it will come. But at the same time, I think that it's very useful if you let people know who you are, in particular institutions, that the institutions know that you are a guy who lives, I don't know, maybe in Paris, who knows Brazilian law and whatever. And if you have some specific skills that make you different from your peers, like it was in my case, I guess because many people speak English, but there are not so many people who speak in French and also know Swiss law. Make sure that people know it, because if then there is such a weird case, this may have an important play to be appointed. I think it's important that people know. So networking is very important, and let people know who you are. But at the same time, you have to be very subtle. You don't have to be, hey, I'm this guy, I'm doing this, and this, because then people say, hey,
not too much.
Not too much pressure as well. So try to find the balance.
I think it's great advice. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. So, Victor, what was it that really inspired you to study law and ultimately have a focus on arbitration?
I mean, I don't remember, to be honest, why I decided to study law. What I remember is how I ended up doing arbitration. It was completely by chance, because when I finished my career, I knew what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do labor law, criminal law, tax law, or things like that. But I never had a course on arbitration or international arbitration. So when I finished my career, I liked international public law, and my idea was to try to work in an international organization like the UNO. So I decided to go to Switzerland to be part of Master in Business Law, because I said, okay, I'll be there. I can contact with people working at an international organization, and there I got the international arbitration classes from Professor Kaufman-Kohler, and I really enjoyed it. And I made two essays for that master on it was, I think, ex parte interim measures and anti-suit injunctions, anti-arbitration injunctions. And when I finished, Professor Kaufman-Kohler asked me whether I wanted to work with her at the university as assistant to work on the classes, to prepare articles and this kind of thing. So I liked it as from the theory point of view, and I said this is something I really like. So when I take the decision to work in a law firm, I really like to do international arbitration. But before, I didn't know what it was.
Wow, you really learned it from the best.
Yeah.
So that's quite impressive. And now, Victor, what advice would you give to someone who just finished law school?
I mean, let me reformulate the question. Somebody who has just finished the school and wants to practice international arbitration, I understand.
Okay. Yeah.
If this is the case, my advice would be to continue education, because when you see today the new generation of people they are all very well prepared. Most of them speak many languages, because I don't know why there are many people who are children from diplomats and so on, and really it's impressive how well prepared they are. But as I said before, there are many universities that don't have any international arbitration lessons. And then when you approach a law firm, the people who compete for the same position, there are many of them who have made an international arbitration master. So I think that nowadays, if you want to do international arbitration right after you finish your career on law, I think you should try to do that, because I think for law firms, it's important that you can start from day one on international arbitration. So if you already know what it is, what it's about, how does it work, you know the times we are living today. There is no much time to devote people teaching things. So if you can tell them, listen, I speak many languages, but in addition, I know arbitration, so you don't have to teach me about what's competence and these kind of things. I think it's better.
Okay, so be specialized and work on the language skills. That's
Yeah.
good advice as well.
So you are the Secretary General of the Spanish Club of Arbitration. Could you please tell us more about it and also about your work there?
Yes, sure. I mean, the Spanish Club of Arbitration is not a court of arbitration. It's an organization that promotes international arbitration, and in particular in Spanish and Portuguese languages. So what we do is we organize events. Now with all of the pandemics, we organize more, all of them are webinars, but I think last year we organized more than 80 webinars, because it's a great number. The issue is that we have also international chapters with people who manage each of the chapters. And I think we have 30 international chapters in Latin America, Europe, North America, some in Asia. And they also organize a webinar and so on. And then we have our own review on arbitration. We do some works that are organized in commissions. For instance, there was a commission to develop a code of best practice on international arbitration. Now there is another commission to develop a code of best practice in sports arbitration. Then another one on constitution and arbitration. So, or another one on dispute resolution on dispute boards. There is also a specific section for young practitioners, which is called the C under 40, or another one for women, in order to promote the visibility of women in arbitration. And as Secretary General, at the end of the day, what I do is to try to coordinate all these things. And it's really a great job, because you get to know many people from many different backgrounds, and it's really amazing.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, definitely. And so to follow up on that, you have extensive experience in international commercial arbitration, investor-state arbitration, and sports arbitration that you just mentioned. But we would like to know how you actually fell into sports arbitration.
So once again, by chance. I mean, now that you are asking, I think that the way I've been involved in international arbitration mostly, but it by chance is something that it wasn't thought. But when I was working with Professor Kaufman-Kohler, she had been chair of the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and she wanted to write something on sports arbitration and human rights. And I really liked it. because it's very different from commercial or investment arbitration, because so in many cases, in particular in anti-doping cases, you deal with people who have spent many years training, and the sport is their life. So I mean, the human relationship there makes those arbitrations very, very different. I really like it. But when I finished working with Professor Kaufman-Kohler, I started to work in law firm at Garrigues, and there I just did international commercial arbitration. But my boss, for whom I worked mainly as tribunal, as secretary of the tribunal, he was appointed arbitrator in the cash arbitrators list. And I told him that this was something that interested me, because I had that past experience, and then I started to work with him as ad hoc clerk in his cases. And this is the way I got involved in sports arbitration.
That's wonderful.
Victor, you have acted as an arbitrator, counsel, and secretary of an arbitral tribunals. Please tell us what makes a tribunal secretary a good one.
It's a very good question, and I think it's very. It may depend, because, as I said before, in my case, as I always was the secretary of the same person, you get to know him, and you know what he wants. But if you work as a secretary for different people, maybe it's very important that you adapt to the way they do things. But in any case, it doesn't matter if you work always for as a secretary for the same arbitrator or for a different one. I think that the most important thing is that you really need to know the case even better than the arbitrators, in order to foresee their needs. For instance, sometimes when you are in the hearing room and the parties refer to a document, they say document C14, and you show it to the chair or to a co-arbitrator if the co-arbitrator asks it. But sometimes the parties, for instance, they don't refer specifically to the document number, but you know that they are referring to a specific document, and okay, this thing that the claimant is saying, I think I saw it in this document. So it's very important that you know the case, so you can take the document from the file and give it to the chair, or send it by email, so he can see the document at the same time one of the lawyers is talking about the case. So it's hard work, and know the needs of the tribunal.
Excellent. I love that you say know the case better than the arbitrator.
Yeah. Better than everyone.
But also this has a danger, because you know the case very well, but you cannot say anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes this can be frustrating.
And now we would like to ask you, what's the most important lesson that you learned as an arbitration lawyer?
I think it's very related to what I said before. I think the importance of the detail, because at least the experience in the Spanish courts is that they are swamped with cases, and you don't have 3 or 4 days of hearing, so you have to very, very quickly, and maybe you cannot enter to the detail, and the judge just leaves with the first impression. This is not the case in arbitration. The arbitrators really work on the case, and they want to know the details to be sure that they render a proper work. So you have to study hard the case, you have to know the details, And then this showed me another important thing, that in international arbitration, teamwork is very important, because there are very complex matters, and it's impossible that you as a lawyer know all the documents, everything. So having an important, a good team with people who you get on well with, and who coordinate well, I think it's very, very important to be successful in the case.
No, very true. Yeah, teamwork is everything, I think, in arbitration.
Yes.
So Victor, I can tell from the piano behind you, I could guess what you do for relaxation.
Don't ask.
Okay.
I won't play.
No, we will ask you to play.
I won't put you on the spot, but I just had to say that. When the pandemic has settled, though, besides coming to the BVI to visit us here at the BVI International Arbitration Center, what is the one fun thing you would look forward to the most?
Okay, just because you talk about the piano, I won't play because I'm not a professional. I started just 5 years ago. So it was always something I wanted to do. My neighbor is a piano professor. I said, if I don't do it now, I won't do it never. So, but I don't play very well.
That's so cool, though. That is cool.
And now to answer to your question, I think that I speak for everybody if I say that the first thing I will do is traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, I will go to the VBI as soon as I can, but now, I mean, even going to, I don't know, wherever.
There's so many places you probably want to go.
Yeah, I mean, when the pandemic, I had organized a trip to go to Peru. I have been there several times for work. I never been in Cusco, and I think I've been in Peru for 8 times, and I had to cancel the trip. So finally, when I decided to go there, well, maybe the first thing will be to go there, but I don't know. Traveling is for sure is what I will do.
Excellent.
Okay.
So
we will look forward to seeing you here in the BVI.
That's you can take it for granted as well.
That's good.
All right, so we have a bonus question for you as well.
Oh.
Yes, we're sneaky like.
not the piano.
No, not the piano.
Can you show us the piano though? I'm curious. I just want to see it.
Okay.
It's a very nice piano.
Nice. So, what team are you on? Do you get into watching How to Get Away with Murder or Suits?
I would say Suits because I haven't seen the other one. Nice. If you had asked The Good Wife, The Good Fight,
okay.
Suits.
The Good Fight. It's the spin-off.
The Good Fight?
It's the spin-off.
The spin-off to The Good Wife.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I was trying to remember that the other day. Yes.
I think I prefer The Good Fight.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
How as being in the legal field, how real do you think it is?
It's not.
Are they realistic? The script?
Not real at all. I mean, Suits is.
So you get a good laugh out of it.
No, but I mean, at the end, you are just you are watching a show. It's like when you watch a medical TV show. I mean, for me, it's real, but when you talk to a friend who is a doctor, they tell you what you say about legal shows. So that's nothing real. So.
Very true.
All right, Victor. Thank you so much for having a laugh with us. We appreciate it. And thank you for joining us today and allowing us to learn more about you and the work that you do. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time. It has been really a pleasure. And to be honest, too short.
Oh, okay.
Well, you could always play us a piano tune. And
no.
It's okay. We'll do another. We'll have another set of questions for another day, and
Perfect.
we'll be able to speak whenever you come visit.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Victor.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Victor, thank you so much once more for taking the time to join us here on Arbitration Life.
We hope that you enjoyed this session as much as we did. We're so grateful for Victor to take the time out of his busy schedule to talk to us today. And for more Arbitration Life, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Arbitration Life.